Today I'm gonna cook some pho up. Should take about an hour to do, sometimes less, depending on how soft you want your meat and stuff. So how I'm gonna do it is in this pressure cooker. It's a knockoff brand. It's like an Instapot, but you want to fill up your water to below the max limit because you're gonna add ingredients and stuff. So you don't want to overflow it. Feed probably like 6 people, depending on your bowl size, of course. Me personally, I like a large bowl, so I'll probably end up using a quarter of this on my own. Any pho that you do cook, you can freeze it and eat it another day if you choose to, if you can't finish it. So make it now, it'll last you about a week or so. In my household, typically doesn't last that long because we love pho. So I'm gonna show you how I do it. What you're gonna need is some, beef, chicken, whatever you want to use. Just like chicken quarters and whatnot for the broth. Slice up some beef, flank steak. I'm gonna use that in my pho bowl. What you're gonna need is star anise, probably a few pieces of this. You don't want to put too much and overpower it. Some salt, depending on what you like in terms of saltiness. I'm kind of cheating with this, so it's like chicken soup base. I'll show you how much I add of each to make it seasoned to my taste level. So you can adjust it to how you want it to do. Herbs, you want to just cut up some cilantro. This is a good option to use. Just cut up some celery, almost like bean sprouts. So if you ain't got no bean sprouts, use celery, trust me. So this, you don't have to use this, is optional, but us Laos people, we like to eat it on the side, like some veggies on the side, dip it in fermented shrimp paste. Yeah, right, it stinks, but it tastes good. All right, so the next thing you want to do is boil up your chicken to get rid of some gunk off the chicken. You probably don't have to do it, but I do it. It gives me a clearer broth when I make my pho. I don't want it to be all cloudy and a bunch of chunks of meat. You could strain and get rid of it, but I do it this way, just how I like it. So you want to bring this up to a boil, and then you're going to add your chicken, roughly about 10 minutes. Once you see it's pretty clear, you're not going to get off everything, but as much as you can. And what you're going to do is, of course, drain it, clean off the bone, and then you're going to add it to the broth mixture. So now what I'm going to do is cut up my celery, and I'm going to use the bottom portion for my broth. So you just want to clean this up. And just add this whole thing to your broth. Cut up some of this. So I'm gonna use this for like my pho, and then half of it for my broth. So this way. What you can do is toast this in the oven if you want to, but if you want it done real quick, I'm gonna show you how I do it. All right, so this is how I use it. What I do to toast this onion, like burn it up, whatever you want to call it. But if you ain't got one of these tools, get it, because it'll save you a lot of time. Careful with your hand, don't put it too close to your hand. Use a fork or something like that. So try not to put the flame onto the fork, because that may discolor your fork. I've had it done, trust me. To make sure that this onion is dry with a paper towel. If you wash it and stuff, or you see some moisture on it, it'll get it done a lot quicker. About 30 seconds to a minute. I'm gonna toast it to a point where it'll give you flavor in your broth. You can add it in as well, up to you, but this is how I do it, and how the flavor, in my opinion, I like this more. This is how it should look. And then all you do is just drop this into the broth with this one. So we're gonna add our onion and our celery into this. So just be careful. And then just add this for flavor. So saltiness to my liking. If you don't know what this is an Asian soup spoon. So it's actually perfect because it has just enough salt that I like. And I do the same for the soup base. So just drop that in, and that's it. And then you're gonna put your star anise in. That much should be good for this little pot. Really not too much. I'll let it do its thing. A trick that I use is like heat up the broth as you're cleaning that chicken bone up. So there's a function on here, it'll say saute, just put it on that, and what it'll do is it'll start heating up your broth. So this way, with pressure cookers, of course it has to come up to pressure, and how it does that, heats up the water. So if you do this in the meantime you're adding these ingredients, it'll save you time. So just get everything ready, just put it on saute, it'll start heating up the broth. And then once you add your chicken in, let it close up, let it pressurize, and give it like 30 minutes and it'll be done. And so now I'm gonna put my chicken in. Like I said, you could use this for broth. About 10 minutes. Just watch it, because what's gonna happen, once it starts boiling, the fat will start rendering off and coming up to the surface. And you wanna just start skimming this off. Once it's done, just go clean and add it. See how it's coming up like that? That's what you wanna get off the meat. Some people may say it's flavor, but me, I think it's just extra fat. So see all that gunk? So you wanna skim that off. You can turn the heat down too. Skim this off and do that ever so often until it's done. So I'll show you how it looks like. So here comes the chicken. So that's pretty much it. That's all you want to do. What you can do is add some dark soy sauce, mustard sauce. I think it'll give it a little bit more color if you want it darker, but this is good the way it is. So what I'm gonna do is close the lid, and I'm gonna set it for about 45 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna do is cut up the herbs, so that way you can eat it with the broth. So this is pretty much all you need. Some people add a lot more stuff, but this is kind of how I do it. It's just simpler. So anybody can do this. So just for the sake of this video, so this is what I'm gonna show you. You can add this for some color. Doesn't really give it any flavor, but just a little drop of this and it'll make your broth a little bit more darker. So there you go. So then cover this up, 45 minutes, this broth will be done. My herbs will be cut up, noodles will be soaked and ready to eat. So, all right, so now it's done. So right now the pressure is pretty high on there. So what you wanna do is release it. So usually what I do is I take this outside, because sometimes the steam and the broth can come out of this vent and you don't want it to splash on your ceiling and get everywhere. So release the vent, let it do its thing in like a minute or two. Pressure be gone and you can open up the lid, and I'll show you how it looks like. There it is, that's the pho. Pretty good. All you do now is just remove the chicken and all this stuff, and then what you're gonna do is just drain the broth like a powder sifter or strainer to get all the itty bitty pits out. I'll show you how it looks like. Not much there, but you know, you get the picture. And all you do is just put this back into the broth. Next step, which is cook the rice noodles, and you're good. So here it is. There's all the toppings you need. So you got some chicken from the broth, the free range chicken. You got flank steak here. I cut up some celery, some onion, cilantro. These will be your sort of like eating it on the side with the pho. So celery, I like to eat on the side with shrimp paste. I know, sounds disgusting, but this actually tastes really good. Got my 2 peppers there. Romaine lettuce, I'll eat on the side as well. So a lot of fresh herbs and ingredients with the pho. And then you got the pho ball right here. So did everything in under an hour. Now all you do is just assemble what you want and enjoy. Here it is, finished product. I'm gonna eat the peppers, of course. I'm not gonna leave it like that, but just follow the steps that I did. You know, see how it turns out. Like and subscribe for future videos. Peace out.